You are tired of browsing menus and submenus that are hard to understand and subtract time to be dedicated to just playing? You want something easy to set up, like your beloved tube amps, but you are unsure if to buy the Boss ME90 or the NUX Trident? Well, this video is for you. First of all, we will hear the two units in action with the demo song, then we will check out the main technical characteristics of both the units with a very detailed comparison chart, then we will hear more sounds also comparing these two units versus real tube amps, and finally I will give you my 2 cents. Let's start with the demo song. We will now compare the two units, checking out the following characteristics: number of amps, cabs and mic simulations, third-party IRs support, effects available and effect management more in general, MIDI, inputs and outputs, foot switches and expression pedal, special features available with both the units, latency time, looper characteristics, ADA conversion and USB channels at our disposal, power needs, dimensions, weight and price. First of all, the ME90 offers 16 amps and cabs, where 5 of them are selectable only via the dedicated app. Furthermore, the unit does not offer any mic simulation. On the other hand, the Trident offers 27 amps and cabs, with the possibility to choose among 4 microphones and the 3 positions of each mic across the speaker. Here I would suggest to check out the user manual of both the units to verify if there is a specific amp that you want to have and that maybe is available in one unit but not in the other one. I would say that the most famous amps like Marshalls, Fenders, Mesa and Boxes are available in both the units. Both the units can load third-party IRs with 3 slots for the ME90 and 32 for the Trident. The Boss uses a proprietary format converting the IRs you want to use with a specific app. NUX can load IRs at up to 1024 sample points. Let's now talk about effects and effect chain management more in general. The ME90 has 82 effects organized in 10 blocks with no parallel effects and no possibility to load many instances of the same effect. The order of the effects is automatically set up by the ME90 according to the effects you put in the chain. More info about this topic in my deep dive video about the ME90. Then the unit manages the trails for the time effects. The effects available are 1 noise suppressor, 17 effects that can be placed in the FX1 with compressors, wah, harmonizers, etc. Then we have 18 distortions, 50 modulations, 30 different effects that can be placed in the FX2 block with EQ, tremolo, etc. We then have 15 delays and 3 reverbs. On the other hand, the Trident has 35 effects that you can arrange in 10 effect blocks in whatever order you want. You cannot use many instances of the same effects, and the delay and reverbs can be placed in series or parallel. Also, the Trident manages the trails. In terms of effects, the Trident offers 1 noise suppressor, 7 special effects with compressors, wah, harmonizers, etc., 7 distortions, 2 EQs, 11 modulations, 3 delays and 4 reverbs. In terms of gap, when switching presets, the Boss is basically gapless, where the NUX has a very low gap when changing presets. This is a test example. And please notice that so far the Trident does not manage scenes, where typically NUX adds this feature with future firmware upgrades. Therefore, all in all, in terms of effects, I would say that the main difference is in the approach, where Boss is oriented to provide the user less customization options in favor of simplicity. For instance, not allowing the user to change the order of the blocks, but changing it automatically for the guitarist, where the NUX offers more customizability, for instance with the possibility to change the effect chain as you want and with the possibility to have reverb or delay in series or parallel. In terms of MIDI, the ME90 does not have MIDI ports, but can manage MIDI over USB, where the Trident has both MIDI in and out ports via mini jacks, where the mini jack to standard MIDI conversion cables are included in the box. In terms of inputs and outputs, the ME90 has a guitar input, a mono effect loop, unbalanced stereo outputs, and an headphone out, where the Trident has the same I/O plus balanced XLR out and an aux in. As far as I have understood, you can stream audio to the ME90 using the app and the Bluetooth dongle, which has to be bought separately. This solution could overcome the missing aux in. But obviously the main difference here is the availability of the XLR outs that are available in the Trident, which are missing in the ME90. Also, this limitation could be overcome with an external box, like the Walrus Audio one, But of course, you are adding an external unit which could be also pretty pricey. The ME90 has 8 foot switches, an expression pedal built in and no external expression pedal inputs, where the Trident has 10 foot switches with no expression pedal built in, but with an input for an external controller. So here we have a pretty different approach. The Trident has more foot switches with no expression pedal built in, but an input for an external one, where the Boss has less foot switches with an expression pedal built in and no input for another one. Here I would say that it really depends from what you need. In terms of special features, the Boss can be controlled via your phone and Bluetooth with a separate dongle that you have to purchase separately. Furthermore, it is now based on AIRD amp modeling tech, where the previous model, I mean the ME80, was based on Cosmo. On the other hand, the Trident is now adopting the new NUX amp modeling technology, which is called TSAC 4K versus the previous 2K. Boss AIRD put an emphasis on modeling the whole guitar rig to offer the best experience in terms of touch responsiveness, where the NUX put an emphasis on modeling pretty detailed aspects of each amp. For instance, it is possible to set the bias of an amp, or for the Plexi you can use the input channels, jumpered, etc. In terms of latency, they are both very good. The ME90 is extraordinary, with a latency of less than 1 millisecond, where the Trident is very good, with a latency of around 1.7 milliseconds. If you want more info about latency, you can check out my video where I have compared the latency of 23 amp modeling pedalboards, following the link in the card above. In terms of looper possibilities, they are pretty similar, and I would say that for both of them the loop time is pretty short. Neither of the two units has a drum machine built in. In terms of ADA conversion and USB channels at our disposal while recording, the ME90 offers a 24 bits at up to 96 kHz audio interface, where the NUX offers still a 24 bits audio interface but at up to 48 kHz and not 96. In terms of USB channels, the ME90 offers 4 recording channels versus the 2 of the NUX. It means that with the ME90 you can record at the same time a track with a clean DI signal of your guitar that can be used for amping purposes, and 2 stereo tracks with amp and effects included. On the other hand, with the NUX, if you want to record the stereo effects coming from the Trident, you cannot record at the same time the DI track of your guitar. Therefore, with the NUX, you would need a splitter before the Trident, sending one channel over the splitter directly to your audio interface and the other channel to the Trident. In terms of power need, they are both very good, as the ME90 requires just 190 mA and the NUX 300. Therefore, they both can be easily powered by your favorite pedal power brick. The ME90 can be fed by 4 AA batteries that are included in the box, where the NUX comes with a power brick included in the box, but it does not host any battery. In terms of dimension and weight, the Trident is smaller and lighter at 1.65 kilos versus the almost 3 kilos of the Boss. Obviously, the Boss includes also the expression pedal. That is one of the reasons why it is heavier. Generally speaking, I think that the NUX is built for being as compact as possible, and in fact it is really small. Both seem to be really robust and well built, but we need to wait the proof of time to be sure. The prices are very similar, at 359 for the ME90 and 399 for the Trident. Of course, when comparing the prices, you should take into consideration that the ME90 has the expression pedal built in, which should be added to the price of the Trident if you need one. On the other hand, the Trident has XLR outputs, and if you need these connections, you should add the price of an XLR conversion box to the ME90. Therefore, At the end, I would say that the price is similar, and I don't think it's going to be a deciding factor. But this is just my opinion. So, at the very end, I would say that the main differentiating factors in terms of features are the 4 USB channels available in the Boss, the higher freedom you have in the NUX in terms of effects chain customization, where the Boss put an emphasis on simplicity, with the ME90 setting the effect chain for you. Then we have the expression pedal built-in in the Boss and the XLR out built-in the Trident. Obviously, the expression pedal can be added in the NUX, as the XLR out can be added to the ME90 purchasing external devices, if you really need them. We will make some more considerations about the features differences of the two units in the more sound section of this video. Let's now hear some more sounds. We will now compare the modelers versus two real valve amps, a jumpered Plexi that is connected to a greenback speaker and with everything to none but the volume that is at 8 for both the channels, and a Fender Deluxe Reverb connected to a Jensen speaker with everything to none. In the modeler, I have loaded their simulations of the real amps with the IR I have made of the speakers I'm using in both the real amps. We will be testing the frequency response, the dynamic range management and the note envelope of the real deal versus the modelers, playing few licks with the guitar. I have already recorded the DI tracks of the licks in my digital audio workstation, so we are sure that we are gonna send the same exact lick to the modelers and the real amp, without introducing little human errors derived from the fact that it is impossible to play the same lick many times without little variations. These are the 5 licks I will be using. I will use the first to match the frequency response. I mean, we will hear the amps and the modelers with the same settings, and then I will tweak the modelers to sound as close as possible to the real deal. Then with the second lick we will hear the bass frequency. Then with the third lick we will test the dynamic response of the modelers. I mean the way the modelers cleans up and breaks up according to the volume of your guitar, or how soft or hard you push the strings. And with the fourth and fifth lick we will check out the note envelope management. Then we will test also 3 effects for each modeler. I've tried to match the types of effects and settings for each modeler, even if it is almost impossible, as each modeler has his own parameters even for the same effect. Therefore, it is, as I was saying, impossible to make a scientific comparison. But at least I hope you will be able to hear, how to say, the character of each modeler, so that you can decide yourself which one you prefer. I will let you now hear the test, and I will not say anything, so that you can make up your own idea without being influenced by mine. And we will discuss the results later on in my 2 cents section of this video. Let's start. Final considerations here, and please notice that I have received both the units for free, respectively from Boss and the NUX. I have very good relations with both the brands and I love these two units. Therefore, this 2 cent section of this video is maybe the most difficult one I have ever done after hundreds of comparison videos that I have uploaded to YouTube. But let's do it. In terms of features offered by both the unit, I would say that the main differentiating factors are: you have more freedom placing the effects blocks in the signal chain with the NUX, with also the possibility to load the delays and reverbs in parallel or series. The Boss is all oriented to simplicity. In fact, for instance, the unit changes the signal chain for you according to the effect blocks you are gonna be using. For instance, if you use a booster in the FX block 2, it is automatically placed before the amp, and if you use a chorus, it is placed after the amp block. Then you have XLR out included in the NUX, but no expression pedal built-in, where the ME90 has an expression pedal built-in but no XLR out. With external units you can actually overcome the limitations adding an external expression pedal to the NUX and an external TS jack to XLR converter to the Boss. Therefore, I don't think these limitations or differences should play a major role in your final decision. One other difference is related to the USB channels available, where the Boss has 4 USB channels at your disposal and the NUX only 2. This is an important factor to be considered if you want to record at the same time the clean DI track of your guitar alongside the stereo effects of the unit, to reamp the DI track later. But also this limitation could be overcome with an external splitter. In terms of price, the ME90 is €359 and $349 without the power supply included, but with 4 AA batteries in the box, which becomes $379 with the AC adapter included. On the other hand, the NUX price is around €399. And I don't know the price in dollars so far. Therefore, in terms of price, they are pretty similar. And also the price seems not to be a main differentiating factor. So, as you may have noticed, many differentiating factors can be overcome with external units. Therefore, in my opinion, at the very end, in terms of feature offered, I would say that the NUX offers more customizability both in the effect chain, as I said previously, and in the parameters you can choose for your amp and cab. For instance, with the possibility to choose among 4 mics, or to set the bias of your tubes, or to use the channels of the Plexi SIM jumpered. On the other hand, the Boss is all about simplicity, arranging the order of the effects for you or allowing to put batteries into the unit, forgetting about the power supply, which is pretty handy. So this is the most important difference you should take into consideration in my opinion. I mean, if you want simplicity, just get the Boss. If you are an effect geek or you want to have more options to customize your amp, get the NUX. And now let's talk about the tone. Pretty difficult argument here. I am a long-term Boss effects user, therefore I'm more used to Boss effects. And especially the choruses have that Boss chime to which I'm more used. I also found the Boss Tube Screamer very effective, and when you add it to your lead tone, it really lets your Strat to shine, as I think you may have noticed in the demo song. In fact, the couple Tube Screamer plus Boss Chorus allows me to get one of the best Strat lead tone I have ever obtained. On the other hand, I love the customizability of the Trident, where I can choose, for instance, the mic I want to use, or I can load reverbs and delays in parallel, etc. I'm not an effect geek, but sometimes It's nice to have more customizability, and of course also with the Trident you can get good tones and you can go very detailed and specific with your tone, maybe even having the possibility to get a tone no one has, tweaking the unit to its limit. I have to say that for both the units I miss a ping-pong delay with modulations that I hope will be added with future firmware upgrades. All in all, if you want that tactile experience that only physical knobs and buttons can guarantee, these units are the state of the art and the best units you can get so far. You won't be disappointed with either of them. Let me add that I received a lot of questions about these two units and how they compare. This video, I hope, answers many of them, and I will do some more deep dives in the future. For instance, I would like to do an in-depth video just dedicated to the pitch shifting possibilities of the units, and also checking out the possible new doubts that you may want to write in the comment section below. Please let me know also your opinions about these units in the comment section below, as I really think that all your comments and suggestions enhance a lot the values of these videos, and together we can help other guitarists to make the right purchase decision according to their needs. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.